Good morning, and here is another Substack reading. Quite a lengthy one, this one, quite substantial, and one poem to accompany it. So this one is called How Awakening Becomes Human. This is based on a couple of discourses and some Q&As from the recent online day-long that I did about awakening and embodiment. A very beautiful meeting it was as well. So I thought I'd write an article based on it, and this is what came out. How awakening becomes human. The journey begins with awakening, but it flowers through embodiment. Many spiritual teachings place great emphasis on awareness. We are invited to recognize our true nature as the open, spacious presence in which all experience appears. Thoughts come and go, emotions come and go, sensations come and go, yet something remains unchanged. Awareness itself is untouched by the movement of life. This recognition can be profoundly liberating. For the first time, we begin to see that we are not merely our thoughts, our emotions, our history, or the endless narrative of the personal self. We discover a freedom that exists prior to circumstance, a peace that is not dependent upon conditions. Yet this is not the end of the journey. In many ways, it is the beginning. There is a tendency within spirituality to assume that realization is the destination. Once awareness is recognized, we imagine the work is complete. Yet life often reveals otherwise. The body remains, relationship remains, fear remains, grief remains, old patterns, wounds, and inherited conditioning continues to arise. This can be confusing. If awareness is free, why is there still suffering? If truth has been recognized, why does life continue to feel challenging? The answer may lie in understanding that realization and embodiment are not the same. Awareness itself needs nothing. It is already whole, complete, and free. But the human organism through which awareness expresses itself may still carry the accumulated weight of a lifetime, or perhaps generations, of conditioning. The realization of awareness does not instantly dissolve these structures. Rather, it illuminates them. It is as though a light begins to shine into rooms that have long remained hidden. The contents were always there, but now they can be seen. Fear, grief, contraction, shame, unresolved pain, and deep-rooted strategies of self-protection are brought into view. Many people expect awakening to bring only peace, yet find themselves confronted by aspects of their humanity they hoped had been left behind. What is being revealed is not a mistake. It is not evidence that awakening has failed. It is evidence that awareness is beginning to enter the lived experience. This is where embodiment begins. Embodiment is often understood as becoming more present in the body, and certainly the body has an important role to play. Yet true embodiment is much broader than that. It is the gradual permeation of our entire human life by the light of awareness. Awareness begins to inform our relationship with fear, grief, intimacy, conflict, uncertainty, vulnerability, aging, loss, and death. What was once merely understood begins to be lived. The challenge is that this process rarely feels comfortable. The self has been constructed around countless strategies designed to create safety and continuity. We have learned how to protect ourselves, how to avoid pain, and how to maintain a familiar identity. When awareness begins to illuminate these structures, they often start to loosen. What loosens can feel as though it is dying. In many ways, it is. It is the death of certainty, the death of self-image, the death of the stories through which we have known ourselves. The conditioned self experiences the loss of these familiar structures as a threat because it cannot imagine who it will be without them. This is why the journey into embodiment often carries fear. The fear is not a sign that something has gone wrong. It is often a sign that something false is beginning to fall away. Yet what is revealed through this process is not annihilation, it is freedom. Not freedom from life, but freedom within life. It is the freedom to feel deeply without becoming lost, the freedom to meet grief without being consumed by it, the freedom to allow vulnerability without needing to defend against it, the freedom to remain open in the midst of uncertainty. This is not the freedom of transcendence alone, it is the freedom of intimacy. Many seekers discover awareness and naturally gravitate towards the spacious, transcendent dimension of reality. There is a profound relief in discovering that what we truly are is untouched by the movements of life. Yet eventually life itself asks something more of us. Love asks something more of us. Relationship asks something more of us. The heart asks something more of us. The invitation is no longer simply to rest as awareness, but to allow awareness to enter every corner of our existence. The light must enter the wound. The sacred must enter the ordinary. The vastness must enter the human heart. Perhaps this is why love becomes so important as the journey matures. Awareness reveals what is eternally free. Love allows that freedom to enter the human experience. Awareness shows us our true nature. Love teaches us how to live it. The two are not separate. Wisdom without love can remain distant. Love without wisdom can become entangled. Together, they form a complete path. The journey begins with awakening, but it flowers through embodiment. It begins with the recognition of the vastness, but it ripens through intimacy with life itself. It begins with the discovery of awareness, but it is completed in the realization that sky and the ocean were never two. This, perhaps, is how awakening becomes human. And a poem I read that speaks to this. The sun and the moon. Friend, don't rush to say the sun is exalted without also holding a great reverence for the moon that reflects the light. The moon is a beautiful dancer, moving softly through the dark, borrowing nothing, yet giving everything. The sun reveals the day, but the moon teaches intimacy. It speaks in whispers, not proclamations. One illuminates the world, the other illuminates the heart, and perhaps we need them both. For what use is the blazing light if it never touches the hidden places? What use is transcendence if it never enters the wound? The moon knows something of longing, something of tenderness, something of the sacred art of carrying light into the darkness. Friend, do not worship only what shines. Bow also to what reflects. For there are seasons in this life when we are called to be the sun, and seasons when we are called simply to become the moon, offering whatever light we have received to a world learning how to see. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching and listening to this. Bless you.